Are you living from just your brain or just your heart? And where do you make decisions from? Welcome to season 2 of the Birth Healing Summit podcast. In today's episode, I discuss the 3 energy centers of the body and how connecting these centers can change how you make decisions and show up in your life. Hello, friends. This is Lynn Schulte, and you are listening to the Birth Healing Summit podcast. We are here for meaningful conversations that will transform the way you work with pregnant and postpartum clients. Whether it is a new perspective, tool, or technique, you'll be able to implement it into your practice today. I invite you to sit back, listen with an open mind, and grab the golden nugget today's guest has to offer. Now let's get started. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to this episode. Today I want to talk with you about the 3 energy centers in our body. Now, what do we mean by energy centers? Well, in Chinese medicine, they talk about these 3 energy centers as being the dantians of the body. They're kind of similar to the elixir of the life field, or known as the sea of qi in the body. Qi is similar to the energy that acupuncturists use to help move that qi, move that energy through our body. And these energy centers have specific functions, especially these 3. Now, there's lots of different energy centers if we're talking about the chakras of the body, but these dantians, from a Chinese perspective, are the upper dantian, the shen, and that is the head. So the third eye chakra is associated with this dantian. And so I think of that one as the head. And the head is where our spirit and intelligent consciousness lies. And in Chinese medicine, it results in cultivating your yin and your qi energies together. It's located within the pineal gland, and it's the most subtle of the 3 energies. However, in our society, this upper dantian is probably the most active of people that I work with. So a lot of us are really living up in our heads and constantly connected there and making decisions from this place. Now, ideally, we want to have all 3 of these energy centers nice and balanced and connected. So the second energy center is the middle dantian, or the qi, so heart. It's QI is the way they spell that one. And it is in the center of the chest. It's the heart chakra. It's aligned with the heart chakra. And it has the universal energy as form and function. And this dantian has a little less energy than the lower dantian, which is the yin. It's the womb space, that's spelled Jing. And this is the womb space. So this dantian is associated with the sacral and root chakras. So, and also the kundalini energy, if any of you are familiar with that. This dantian is related to genetics, sexuality, reproductive, and survival response. And it actually has the most substantial energy from which the physical body is created. So we have the lower dantian, which is the womb, the middle dantian, which is the heart, and the upper dantian, which is the head. And I dive more into how to balance these 3 dantians in the Birth Healing Intensive program. And I find that I use this a lot when I'm working with my clients. And first off, if they are just so up in their head, like I want to help like balance these 3 energy centers. A lot of times when I start my sessions, I find that my hands just kind of, I kind of let my hands go where the body wants them to go. So I open up to listen into where does their body really want my hands. And a lot of times they end up being on the heart and the womb space. And so then I just lay my hands gently on those 2 areas of the body and just sense into what do I see and feel there. And a lot of times I would have to say this is more, the more predominant location of the heart in the chest that I find with my clients is a more protruded or forward thrusted heart in the chest. Ideally, we want our heart energy center to be nice in the midline of our body. And what I find is that a lot of women, especially people who have experienced maybe childhood trauma or a big event that that they just kind of had to power through and get through it. What I find with this the heart forward in the chest space is that it's a projection of false bravado. It's like they're trying to say, I'm okay, world, I'm okay, I'm okay. And that heart is thrust forward in their chest, and they're creating this false sense of okayness out in the world. And ideally, what I like to do is kind of help them to figure out what was it that created that need of that heart to go forward, and help it to figure out how to settle back more into the midline. Because ideally, we want these three energy centers to be flowing and connected in a way that is like a vertical stacking of these three centers. When we have that heart forward in the chest, then we're missing that midline of the energy center. So instead of being able to go straight up and down, it actually has to go forward and then back up to the head. And when that happens, it also misses that solar plexus, which is our power center. So when our heart and our womb are aligned on top of each other, with the heart being in the middle of the body, the womb being in the middle of the body, then that energy flows through that solar plexus, which allows us to be more in our power. And it's a more of a stronger sense of, I am okay, world. Like, I am in my center. I don't need to be projecting falsely forward to be out in the world. And when the heart is in that midline and is stacked on top of that womb space, then that energy just is able to flow freely from head, heart down to womb through that solar plexus, so that we have that sense of our own sense of power as we're out in the world. And so I have just found these three energy centers to be so powerful for, didn't mean that way, but didn't intend that pun there. But these three power centers, when they're fully aligned and we get them in balance, and there's like a 4-step process that I teach in the Birth Healing Intensive on how to clear out and refill and balance all three of these energy centers, that our clients are able to show up more authentically, more in their ability to just be themselves and to stand in their power. And it truly, truly is life-changing. And so I just wanted you all to be aware of these centers that are in our body, and know that there's a way that we can work with our clients to help them to understand them better. I have found the greatest antidote to someone who is constantly living in their head or on that hamster wheel where they can't get off and they're constantly thinking. The greatest antidote to that is connection into their pelvic space. And so connecting these three power centers is an awesome way to help them to get out of their head and really find their truth, that truth that really does lie within their pelvic space. So if you are interested in learning more about how to work with these power centers and how to help your clients in this deeper way, please consider joining me for the Birth Healing Intensive program. We're currently in the application phase. So if you're interested, even if you're on the fence, fill out the application. Let's get together. I'm doing phone interviews with everybody to just make sure the program's the right fit for you. And then we can talk about it and see if it's the right thing for you to do. So I encourage if you are interested at all, please just fill out that birth healing application, and would love to talk to you more about the program and just see if it's the right thing for you. Okay. So please be aware of these 3 energy centers. I would also encourage you to just place your hands on your client's hearts, on their chest, right in the middle of the chest, and see if you can just start to sense and feel, where do you sense that heart in their body? And see if you can feel, does it feel in the midline? Does it feel more anteriorly? Does it feel posterior? It can be pulled backwards too, in more of a protective manner as well. And so helping to get that heart in a more centered place is really, really, really beneficial for all of us and how we're showing up in the world. So see if you can start feeling that in your clients, okay? And become aware that there are these 3 amazing power centers in our body, and having them nice and balanced and connected can really change how you and your clients are showing up in the world. Because remember, the Birthing Intensive program is designed to help you. You're going to be doing this work to yourself so that you then know how to perform it with other people. So it's going to be a both and. You're going to be working on yourself and healing yourself and shifting the energy within you so that you know how to do that with your clients. All right. So please fill out the application if that sounds of interest to you. And I would love having you join me in the Birth Healing Intensive program. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening in. Bye-bye. Today's podcast was brought to you by the Institute for Birth Healing. To discover more, visit instituteforbirthhealing.com. To claim $50 off of any online course, use coupon code podcast50 at checkout. Till next time, I'm Lynn Schulte, founder of the Institute for Birth Healing.